You can visualize, right? Not just you, but your teammates.
Yeah, I was really blessed. Can I just start? I'm just going to take a second here. It is incredible that you all have come out to this, and I can't tell you how grateful we are. President, incredibly grateful. Mitch, I get to work for two of the greatest people I know in the world, and for all of you to take time out of your busy schedules, come out here and be a part of this. I can't tell you how grateful I am to be a part of this community. It means everything to Leanne and I. To get to be across the hall from Coach Brooks, who is bringing so much life to the University of Kentucky and what he's doing with his team and staff. This is just awesome. So thank you guys so much for being here. Now, yes. Now, I have never done this before. And there's a good chance that I'm going to have to hitch a ride with somebody home. But what I'm hoping is that I'm walking in dangerous territory, but I'd like to see if there's somehow all of us together could convince Miss Leanne to come up here and join us for this. Please pray for me. There's going to be all smiles up here for a while. So I'm good at reading Leanne's lips, and when I asked her for him, she looked straight at me and she said, "Fire him now."
You can just put the mic down and talk to her for a while.
So here's the deal. The last thing is, if this is a small, intimate group, so we have a chance to tell all the things that we can't say to the media.
He's going to regret that I have a volume.
All right, so let's get after it. Here we go.
1977, Elvis Presley's coming to Rubber Arena. I got paid to stand in line to buy the limit of 10 tickets. And the line went all the way around, out the Rubber Arena, but all the way around 9th Street, back up Broadway, and almost in Florida High Street. That Sunday in April was as close as I've seen to that. What was that like for you guys to live? Let's start with you.
It was incredibly special. I was there. I actually was just telling somebody this previously, but for us, as my daughters and us attending, of course you can imagine the emotion, the excitement of being there. And it's almost been, and of course it felt electric. I cried 4 or 5 times during the press conference. But to talk to fans afterwards and what they experienced and maybe give it a little more context has been super special. I mean, people that have been here a long time and what it meant to them. It wasn't about us, it was about Big Blue Nation coming together, and I think that I almost appreciated it more after the fact.
You and your oldest daughters, I'm sure, have heard a lot about this place from him over these years. But now, to be here with him, what's it been like since then to live this?
Incredibly special and a total honor. You know, I love BBN for 25 years because every single trip we have ever gone on, internationally, anywhere, there is somebody that stops Mark from University of Kentucky. Every place. The caves of Capri. Every place. And it's always been a very charming interaction with a lot of love. So I've been charmed by BBN for 25 years, and to get to be here and have a front row seat has been incredibly special. I have nothing but love and gratitude, and the kindness has been overwhelming. It's a very special group of people.
So Mark, everybody knows you play here, obviously, and went to the highest height. You get into coaching, and everybody's got their it job, their dream job they love to have. You never know if it's going to happen, but somewhere in the back of your mind, being here in this situation had to be there. What's it been like to live it versus to dream it?
I don't have a great answer to that. I think we're so kind of immersed and consumed in this process right now of chasing this really hard that I don't think we're spending a lot of time kind of considering. That'll be, that'll be 10 years after Mitch finally fires us that we'll be considering those things. But right now we're just trying to be absolutely the same thing we ask for our players. You'll see us huddle up before games. You'll see us actually in timeouts if they go live in the timeout, and we'll always take a breath and be like, okay, make sure that we are right here, right now. Being present as an athlete is so incredibly important. People talk about being in the zone, but being present is so important. And it's even more important in life. And so right now, we're just fully present in this moment, not spending a lot of time considering, where it lies in the run of our life, but just trying to be here for every single moment. It's super important.
Coach B was a great mentor to you. I'm just interested to know if he has given you any advice about this job since you took it.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, he is. I got to see him at Big Blue Bands for a second. That was super fun, wasn't it? And it was really wonderful to see him kind of feeling the emotion of being back together with family, which I know so well. And he actually said to me twice. He said that night. He said the next morning he's like, hey, make sure that you don't let all of this distract from you doing the work that you're here to do. And that was kind of his thing. And you think about a guy who's laser focused in his life, that's how he rolls. And so I think it's incredibly appropriate advice.
That 96 title group is just so close. I mean, you guys have a text chain, all this work from Cameron, as part of our UK network group. And you, what did you hear from those guys? In terms of advice or anything meaningful or whatever once you took this job?
Just threats, only threats. It's a locker room. It's our guys. One of the great things is that those guys care just as much as I care, just as much as we all care. Like, this matters. It just matters. It's important, and winning matters because the residual effect is that we all get to gather together. Like, these connection points are. It's the brilliance and beauty of BBN and basketball when it's done well. Is all these connection points. So that's what I'm getting from my guys. Is they'll be our toughest critics and biggest.
That is a special fraternity that you're a part of because all of us here root for your success and all the coaches. But I work with Goose now, Pratt before that, and just to see them at home games or road games and interacting with former players of all different eras that we saw at Madness. It is a special fraternity to be a part of.
Yeah, it is. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it in sport, and we're all blessed to be a part of it. So how mad are you going to be if we just try and see if there's anybody out there that's got a really hard-hitting question that they want to get? Let's go do this. Bring the thunder, guys. Otherwise, you gotta.
We don't have a mic for you, so just stand up and yell. But
we gotta
raise a hand, something.
See, let's go.
Are you gonna have a women's clinic?
It's gonna drop today. So November 1st, Friday, November 1st. Registration will drop today.
Breaking news.
That's why we come here, people. That's why we come. So it'll be the last look at the Cats, inside look before we.
What do you love most about the women's clinic?
Meeting players.
Meeting players.
But yeah, meeting players, interactive players. As it went along, it kind of they kind of moved back from the very beginning.
Oh, we're bringing them back.
Bring it back, please.
So the way we're gonna do it is we're gonna roll in. We'll do a dinner, and then the guys are gonna move practice a little bit later, so you'll be able to walk in on the last few minutes of practice. It'll be really great. So you don't just get to meet the guys; you get to meet the guys sweaty, which is even better.
Question? As we scan the crowds, raise your hand. There we go. I believe that's Jack from Lexington has a question.
Jack, I met your daughter Thursday night and watched your granddaughter play.
Yeah, thank you so much. And my question was to you, not to Mark.
What do you want to know, Jack?
Because you and my wife have become buddies and you met my daughter. What is your role? What do you see your role as I would have answered the way.
Right, okay. Keep Mark humble, number one.
She is so good.
But you know what? As far as just to love these boys, just to love these boys, I feel like I know they're superstars. I know these days they're making some money, but they are kids. And when we go to these recruiting dinners, it's just like to say to the mom, like, I'm here to fill whatever gap needs to be filled. And sometimes it's a zero, and sometimes there's a real need for it. So it's to help and support, and that when I think about the team, it's just to love these boys and help in any way that I can, and take care of these coaches' families, these wives. And we have a whole group of women, any mother that have relocated their families and are coming here to win, and to take care of those wives and those kids and those coaches. Being a coach's kid myself, that's probably the two biggest roles.
She also. She also is an expert at holding the referees accountable.
She got plenty of help in that area. By the way, I will mention that the QR codes on your table, again, for the silent auction. I can ask you one question real quick while I'm thinking about this. I think most of these people probably know, in a previous life, you were executive assistant to David Letterman. Are we going to see David again?
I don't think so. But he's fully aware of everything that's happening.
All right. Mark,
We are auctioning off in the silent auction a dinner with Dave. Is that true? No.
let's talk about your team. Tell these folks, the one thing I'm safe in predicting, I mentioned this to Dr. Capilouto, I will never say 10-second count in Kentucky at any point this season for getting involved before, right?
Well, I hope not. That would be counter to what we're trying to do. I feel this more and more every day that we as BBN are going to love watching these guys compete, man. I think we're going to love it so much. These guys are in this for each other. There's still going to be moments, right? They're playing with unbelievable intensity and courage and bravado, bordering on recklessness, which is a beautiful way to play this game right now. They're spending almost as much time on the floor as they are standing up, running down the court. It was really fun. And the blue-white scrimmage on Friday, probably the most engaged the crowd was. And it was so fun to point out to my guys, was when I had 3 guys dive on the floor for a loose ball and kind of all collide with each other. And that's when you actually really started to feel BBN. And that's it. Like, we're going to love watching these guys play because their whole hearts and souls are going to be out on this floor every night. They understand who they represent and what they represent, and they're trying to do it together. It's going to be really fun. So that's the best thing that I can say about this team right now.
You had to put together an entirely new team from scratch and then build the family in a short amount of time. How did you go about doing that, and are you comfortable with where it is as the season gets ready to start?
Yeah, you got to be super intentional. Like, we don't, we play tag all the time. Leanne teasing me with this. Like, stop saying that you play tag.
It's weird to say that.
People think you're running around playing tag with gyms. But we'll be in meetings all the time where everybody has to speak. And we're very intentional about that. We are very intentional about sending guys off in small groups together to go on an activity or spend some time together. And it hasn't taken long. We're very intentional. You've heard me talk about this a lot, that when we're in practice, we're very intentional about when we finish a drill, the players huddle up and they talk and the coaches listen, and then the coaches can add afterwards. And all those things are teaching our players to hear each other and communicate with each other and ultimately love each other and compete together. And so it's easy because we have such incredible, these are world-class people that we have representing the University of Kentucky right now.
And there's structured plays that will be a part of it, but it seems like a lot from watching you guys practice, Jack.
There are structured plays unless Kerr's on the floor. Kerr not going to do anything I tell him to do. It's beautiful. He's actually beautiful about it.
But so much of this seems to be these guys understanding their teammates to be able to play off each other to where they can almost, in the ultimate sense, play blindfolded.
And yes, I understand what you're saying about playing blindfolded, but that would be super hard. They have guys running each other.
Worked in Donaldson.
But yes, this is all for us. The game of basketball right now is push yourself into a place where we keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing so that we get deciders on the floor. You need decision makers on the floor. If the coach is the decision maker on the sidelines about point A to point B to point C, it just doesn't function in today's game of basketball. So our job is to teach players how to be deciders, put them in actions they're incredibly familiar with, that they understand how to work with, and then let them go be deciders on the court, and that's where we function the best.
How did you come to embracing this style of play as a coach?
Well, I love it. I think it's beautiful. I love to watch it, right? I love to coach it. I love to see guys grow their games in it because it's you're going to hoop, but with like the most elite level of IQ that you can do in the game of basketball. And so it's a really fun format to grow players in. I think it really twists up opposing teams. I've told this before, but we were probably 4 or 5 games into the Big 12 season last year, which last year was the best conference in the country. It looks like the SEC is going to be the best conference in the country this year, as it should be. And our guys started to get really frustrated with our scouts. We spent a lot of time scouting other teams' defense. So we'll do a full 2-day presentation on how the other team can guard. So we spent a lot of time on that. And we were wrong every single time. And so we're 4 or 5 games in, and the guys are like, you tell us they're going to guard like this. And we're like, well, they've guarded everybody like this the last 7 games or 5 games, and we broke down film. And then they get dusted and they're trying to do something different because we're pushing the envelope on the game so hard that it ruins all of your defensive principles. You kind of have to throw it out. We're trying to live in that gray space of coaching defense as an offensive team where we're coaching trying to coach defense, and there's these little uncertainties, these little cracks, and we're trying to live in there, and it's fun. So I think our guys love it. I love playing that way. It wins.
Because this was a new group, you had an intentional approach to putting the team together, but have you been surprised by anything you didn't expect as these past months have gone by?
I haven't. One of the nice things about a portal team is that you get to watch a ton of film on all the guys playing in college. I think I've been not surprised, but I've been incredibly excited about how good these young men are, like as people, right? As people, and that actually is winning. Great people win. I'm telling you, it's true. Especially the way the game is played now. We have great people.
Back for a question to Leanne. I mean, as you know, you lived it, as you're finding out, everybody usually knows pretty much most everything about the players and the coaches at UK. Anything about him that they don't know? That you care to share?
She's not trying to figure out what you don't know. She's trying to figure out what she's allowed to say. Not by me, but by the police, right?
I don't know if it's something you don't know, but he's as good as he sings. And I think that is
Good answer. Since we didn't ask for questions, I'll ask for one last one. Anybody got one last one that, we'll get 2 then. You've got one back in the back, one here. Mark one to this place. Who's over here? Go ahead. Stand up with your question, please. Feeling about the UK-UofL rivalry.
We have a mole in our backyard that we're trying to kill, and we've nicknamed it the Cardinal.
Good answer.
I'll just verify that is a true story. And if you've ever had a mole in your backyard, like it's tearing up the shrubs, it's like ruining the grass, it's dirt everywhere, it's driving us crazy. So aptly named that.
And one question we have
I
back
will add this. I love the rivalry. I actually love it. I think rivalries make college sports great. The great Pete Carroll, who I've had a chance to third party spend some time with, and he talks about how much you love the competitors that drive you every day towards greatness, and I think rivalries do that. Certainly, rivalries with Indiana and Louisville that have been here forever are really important to Kentucky basketball.
We had a question back here. That'll be our last one.
What did y'all do on your first date?
so mean. I think he already knows the answer.
There's different versions of this. So Mark and I did not meet for 6 weeks. So we were introduced and we talked on the telephone. You know, we didn't like physically see each other for 6 weeks. And it was before.
That was
it
part of the
98,
magic.
like,
As long as she didn't see me, I still was in the game.
but my mom wants to tell the story. So our first day, he picked me up, and we went. And when I got in the car, his infant niece was in the car, so there was a baby in the car with him. And we were dropping it off.
Guys, that's not good, right?
So anyway, his brother was in town for an event, and Mark had volunteered to find babysitter for baby. So we take this sweet baby girl, drop it off at somebody from church's home, and then we go to the gas station. He says, "Go in and get whatever you want." I'm not kidding.
In my defense, you were running a little bit.
I was living in Manhattan. He took me to the gas station and said, "Go crazy, babe." My mom loves that story. But it worked. 25 years this August.
Pretty swell. What'd you get? What'd you get?
Twizzlers and a Diet
We'll close out with just what you can tell these folks about what they're going to see against outside competition for the first time on Wednesday night.
So we're so excited. I hate giving generic answers, but it's the truth. I cannot wait to have all my guys on one bench. I can't wait. And what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can play with all the intensity and all the panache and all of the drive and the fight that you can when fatigue doesn't actually enter into the contest. And so what I'm looking for is I'm looking to see if our intensity level, if we can get to a 9.5 and we can really be there, and if we can sustain it for 40 minutes, for every single second of 40 minutes with the 12 terrific basketball players we have. That's our goal.
Mark and Leanne Pope. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Thank you guys.